I've helped thousands of people refine their saddle hunting skills, and one of the most requested videos that I get is how I set up in the tree once I actually get to hunting height. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what I believe is the best and most efficient way to set up in the tree, as well as sharing 2 different ways that you can hang your bow so that way you're at the ready once you do get that encounter with the buck you're chasing. We're going to talk about some things that I keep in mind as I'm trying to select a tree to hunt from, which direction I face my platform, how I hang my bow, and more. If you could do me a favor and please like this video, it helps me out tremendously with the YouTube overlords. So how I select a tree to hunt from, it generally boils down to whether I'm hunting public or private land. If I'm hunting private land, I'm going to be more inclined to pick a tree with some cover, even if that means I got to trim some branches. But on public land, you're usually not allowed to do any sort of trimming. So I'm trying to find a tree that provides shot opportunities to where I think the deer are going to be walking without trimming at all. So when selecting a tree, I'm always prioritizing what I believe my strong side shot's going to be. So if I'm thinking the deer are going to come through this area over here to my right, I want to make sure that as a right-handed bow hunter, I'm prepared to shoot that way without moving a whole lot. And then in addition to that, I'd like to have a shot to the other side of the tree, but my main priority, without trimming at all if I'm on public land, is getting that strong side shot. So again, if this is the area that I think the deer are going to come through, obviously I want to be on the downwind side of that. So I'd pick a tree and set my platform where I'm not directly behind the tree. I want to be at like a 45. So that way I can stay in behind the tree if I need to conceal myself, but I can also step around the tree and have a lot more shot opportunities around the front of the tree. So in this instance, we're going to put our platform on a 45 with my main shot opportunity being this trail right here that's in front of us. So I'm basically determining where my platform is going to go while I'm still on the ground. And then that brings us to the next point, is where do you put the sticks? And sometimes if the tree is leaning or has branches, that's going to be what determines where the sticks go. But otherwise, I want my sticks to be just offset a little bit. So in this case, I would put my sticks right up the back side of this tree, and then when I hang my platform off 45 degrees, I'll be able to step right over to it without stretching or straining myself to get onto the platform. So in this case, we're gonna say that we're on our top stick, and we're gonna walk through the rest of my process from there. So the first step is obviously to put on our platform. Previously, I'd been using a small carabiner to hook my platform as I climb the tree. Latitude just dropped this little gear strap, and it's pretty handy. Basically what it is, it's a buckle on both sides. So there's a strap with a buckle that lives on the back of my saddle, and then I put this on the back of my saddle. And then when I'm actually set up on the tree, it's completely out of the way. When I go to climb down after my hunt, I can reach back there and clip it back on. So now we're on our top stick. I got my platform attached, and usually I actually hang my platform while I'm on my second to last stick. So I would hang it, you know, somewhere in this level and then still have another stick to climb up. But for this example, we don't have any sticks. This is the profile platform, which if you guys want to check out my review on this, I really enjoyed using this thing, but I'll link to that somewhere up in here. But it's basically a pretty simple design. It has this fold out standoff that allows it to pack super easy, and then a cam buckle strap. So one thing about the cam buckle strap is I always keep the buckle closest to me. I don't want to be wrapping the strap around the tree and having to pull the strap away from my body. So you just swing it around and have the buckle closest to you. So we're just gonna wrap the cam buckle strap around the tree, cinch it down, and then while it's in a vertical position, I like to pull the strap tight, push it down a little bit, and then cam that thing over. One thing that I forgot is obviously my bow would be attached to my hoist, which is always on my right hip. And this hoist auto retracts, so it's gonna let out the perfect amount of line as I climb the tree. But the next thing I would do while I'm on my top stick, before I step onto my platform, I'm all about redundant safety, especially when transferring onto the platform, is I would go ahead, reach up as high as I can and hang my tether and clip into my tether. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And this just ensures that we are safe in case, God forbid, something happened and you didn't have your strap put on correctly onto the platform or something, you would not fall to the ground. We want double the safety. But next up, we're gonna clip into our bridge. Always lock your carabiners. I've talked to a bunch of people that just don't do that because they're lazy. It's a stupid thing to not do. So I'm gonna cinch that up. Now we're connected to the tree. I might have to adjust my lineman belt a little bit, but now I'm going to actually step up onto the platform. I cinch up my lineman belt, and while that's tight, I readjust my tether to be somewhere right about eye height while I'm standing on the platform. So now that I no longer need my lineman belt, I'll show you a couple different ways that you can hang your backpack. What I do a lot of times is I'll actually take my lineman belt, clip it back onto itself like this. It's kind of like a girth hitch. And I'm able to use that carabiner on my lineman belt to go ahead and hang my backpack. I can raise it, I can lower it, I can move it away from the tree. But now I'm basically set up in my saddle, but now I need a gear hanger. I need a place to be able to hang my bow so I can get it up here and be ready to hunt. So what I have here in my pocket is a Latitude gear strap. And this thing is pretty handy. It basically falls down to nothing. I mean, you could stick that in your pocket if you wanted and just pull it out when you get up to hunting height. And then it just has this C-hook and a webbing loop there. And all you do with this, wrap it around the tree, make sure your line is straight. So all you do is hook it on there, pull it tight. And what you'll notice here is I have the new bite bow hanger from Latitude. This is the first metal bow hanger that I've seen for mobile hunting, and it's super handy. It's got this little hook for your quiver, which originally when I got my hands on that, I thought that I wouldn't be able to fit my quiver on there and still have room for my bow, but it turns out it works out really nicely. But then on the other end of this gear strap is actually a tag end with a carabiner. So if you didn't want to use your lineman belt to hang your backpack, now I have this handy spot right here where I could clip my backpack on, and now my backpack is secured to the tree. So if I wanted, I could just take that lineman belt, put it right in my dump pouch. And the cool thing about this is you can raise and lower your backpack one-handed. I can raise it, get whatever I need out of here, pull the little tab, drop it back down, and it's out of my way. The other thing on this gear strap is you got these little loops. So if you wanted, you could put a carabiner on there and hook up your grunt call, your range finder, hang up a jacket if you want an extra layer, easily accessible. But now really the only thing left to do is to pull up my bow. So I pull up my bow, unhook it from my hoist, I'd knock my arrow, and at this point I generally take off my quiver. I don't like shooting with my quiver on, and again, on this bite bow hanger, there's a little quiver hook, and then I can place my bow right there. Now I'm hunting, I'm ready to go. You know, I clip on my release, and then if my strong side shot opportunity is coming from over here, I have all of that accessible to me. I can move my way around the tree. If I need to shoot behind me, I have all of that. So by setting up on a 45 facing where you think your best opportunity is going to be, it gives you a really good opportunity to have a good shot opportunity, as well as to hide behind the tree. If there was deer coming in, it was a feeding location like an apple tree or a corn pile or whatever, and there's going to be deer hanging out there for a long time, especially if they're deer that I do not want to shoot, I will tuck myself 100% behind the tree, especially if it's a bigger tree. It makes it easier to do that. But then say the target buck walks out, I'm able to swing back around and get my shot opportunity. So the other cool bow hanger that Latitude launched this year is the Fixed, and it's called the Fixed because it's fixed on your bow. It just lives on there, and in the event you don't want to have an additional bow hanger or any other pieces to mess around with or set up, this only requires you to have a gear strap, and their gear strap works perfect with this. You have this metal piece, and you can simply drop your bow into one of the loops on the gear strap, and then you're ready to go. So it's as simple as hanging your bow on a loop, and then when your shot opportunity comes, you simply lift it off. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Super lightweight, and it's already attached on your bow. There's zero fiddle factor, so you could basically just have this gear strap have the fixed bow hanger, and you're ready to rock. It's all personal preference. I personally use the bite more, but it all comes down to what you want to build your system around, and it's actually pretty slick. Now that I have it on there, I might end up using that more and more. If you are somebody that does like to leave your quiver on when you're hunting, both of these hangers are compatible with your quiver still on your bow. So there's the bite, lift it off, ready to go. And then even the fixed, which again is just fixed to your bow, reduces setup time, reduces the amount of weight of things you have to carry into the woods, but even with your quiver on, it just slides right on there. And you're able to just lift it off, take your shot, and you're ready to go. So all in all, that's my process. Obviously, myself being a YouTuber, I film all my things, so it's a little bit more extensive, but if I was just going in to hunt, no cameras at all, this would be my setup. And then once the hunt is over, you do all of these things in the reverse order. So I would take my release, put it in the same pocket that it always goes into. I would knock my arrow, hook my bow to my bow hoist, lower my bow down. Usually it's a little bit further to drop it. And now I would put my backpack on. That frees up my gear strap. So again, this Latitude one is very compact. So I would just ball it up. You can put it in a dump pouch, you can put it in your pocket, or what I would do is put it in my backpack like that. I would hook on my lineman belt, then I would stand up on my platform like this, lower my tether down a little bit, and then step down to my first stick. At this point, I'm attached to my lineman belt. I would take my tether off, and then you're good to go. So that's it. All in all, it's super simple. And once you do a couple reps, you're gonna get really, really efficient at this. But I found that to be the easiest way to go about this thing in the least amount of steps without bringing a lot of extra gear. No reason to overcomplicate it. If there's anything that you would change or add, let me know down below in the comments. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.